reap a harvest in the fall because we deserve it. We do not reap a harvest in the fall because we need it. We reap a harvest in the fall because we deserve it. Not necessarily from a moral standpoint. Of course, there are some moral laws as well, spiritual and moral laws. But just the basic laws that simply say if you wish to reap, you must plant. So jot this down. Reaping is reserved for the planters. And the reason they reap is because they deserve it. They're the planters. They deserve to reap. Interesting Bible phrase that says, if you keep knocking, you'll find open doors. Good phrase to jot down. If you keep knocking, you'll find open doors. Doors of opportunity. Doors of a chance to meet someone. Doors open for association. Doors open to find someone special. Doors open to find a unique business colleague. If you keep knocking, the phrase says, doors of opportunity are open to those who continually knock. So we don't find open doors of opportunity because we need them. We find them because we deserve them. Only those who knock deserve to find an open door. But the promise is, if you continually knock, you'll find doors of opportunity. It says, if you search, you will find. So make the note, it's good. Finding is reserved for the searchers because they deserve it. Now, at first, they may have needed it, but they now know that just needing it is not sufficient. But if they need it, now they must qualify for it. The reason why you're going to be blessed with good ideas this weekend is because you've come searching. You've gotten on an airplane to come searching. Got in your automobile to come searching. You got here searching. Now you're ready to receive. And for those who search, they will find answers. They will find plans, imagination to stir yourself into action for future benefit. So if you search, to find a good idea, you must go looking and searching. You've got to go to church. You've got to go to class. You've got to go to the seminar. You've got to go to the library. You've got to go to the books if you wish to find. Rarely does a good idea interrupt you. Rarely. But if you will search, you will find. So we get not what we need, but we get what we deserve. It says if you ask, someone has an answer. If you keep asking, the answers belong to you, because by virtue of asking, you have qualified. So we don't get what we need, we get what we deserve. The mother on welfare should be taught in some small manner that hopefully she can begin deserving the welfare check. Not getting it because she needs it, but now starting to get it because she deserves it. If the welfare worker says to Mary, Mary, I brought a bucket of paint and a paintbrush, and the next time I come, if the door is painted and the fence here in front is painted, I give you the check for $450. Not that painting the door and painting the fence is worth $450. It's not worth that much, but it is the beginning of the process. So make that note. I want to begin the process of deserving. What would that be? What process should I begin engaging in to deserve good health, to deserve a good relationship, to deserve prosperity, to deserve an enterprise, to deserve the opportunity to build a city? What must I do to begin the process of deserving? So now the welfare worker comes back and the door is painted and the fence is painted. And now Mary gets the $450 to help take care of her children, not because she needs it, but because she's beginning to deserve it. Then the welfare worker thinks of some other project. She said, Mary, if these weeds are gone and this little garden is cultivated, when I come back, now that the door is painted and the fence is painted, if the weeds are gone and this little garden is cultivated, you get the $450. And step by step, a new life is emerging, learning the process of deserving it, not just needing it. We teach our children at home, right? Child says, I need $10. So that language doesn't work here. There's plenty of money here, and the vaults are full. But to say I need $10 is not how you open the vault. So the child says what? Wow, how can I get that $10 that I need? So here's what they learn to say. How could I earn $10? Now the vault opens up. Now the money starts to flow. How could I earn $10? What could I do to earn the money? Not to get the money because you need it. Maybe you need the money. That's, all of us have needs. Here the key is to figure out how to open the vault, how to open the bank, how to open this unbelievable flow of resources to come our way. And here's the key: to deserve it, not to need it. You can't walk out to the field and say to the field, I need a crop. Here's what the field says. Here's what the ground says. Who is this clown that brings me his need but brings me no seed? So jot that down. Take your seed to the marketplace, not your need. Don't disclose your need to the marketplace, only your willingness. We'll talk about that a little later today. Because the marketplace is not interested in your need, but they are interested in your seed. They're interested in your willingness to work. They're interested in your disciplines. They're interested in your eagerness. They're interested in your vitality and your work ethic. That's what the marketplace is interested in. Not your need, but your seed. We get what we deserve. Old Testament God says, if you'll move toward me, I'll move toward you. See, that's how you get those occasions to meet God. You must make the move. God could say, you don't move, I don't move. You say, well, that's arbitrary. Well, when you're God, you can make it that way. So, the law says if you wish to receive, now let's talk about enlightened self-interest. If you wish to receive, and we would call the wish to receive self-interest. But if it's enlightened self-interest, here's what it says. I understand that in order to receive, I must give. Receiving is reserved for those who give. Receiving is not reserved for those who need it. It's reserved for those who deserve it. We deserve the receiving by giving. In fact, there's an extraordinary phrase in this little context, and here's what it says. It's better to give than it is to receive. Now, the uneducated person would find that difficult to ponder. Why would it be better to give than it is to receive? So let me give you one of the better phrases for the day. Here it is. Giving starts the receiving process. So of course it's better to give than it is to receive. How much receiving do you wish? You must start the giving process. For me to receive my additional fortunes for the future, not necessarily for the money, because I don't need the money. I take the money, but I don't need the money. But here's what I do need. For someone to say, a year from now, 5 years from now, Mr. Rohn, that seminar helped to change my life. And for whatever reason, I was brought here to this place for this time. And later someone says that. See, to receive that kind of thanks, it's unbelievable. Here's what you cannot buy, that kind of thanks. You can't buy it with money. You have to earn it. Now, let's expand a little further now. It's called the law of riches and wealth. In our own self-interest, if we wish to be rich and wealthy and prosperous and healthy and all the valuable things we can think of for the human experience, how could we get there? It's understanding the law of enlightened self-interest and the law of deserving. The question was asked in the Bible, how can we be great? What is the key to greatness? Great wealth, great return, great accolades, trophies to put on the mantle above the fireplace. How can we get great respect, great riches, great abundance for ourselves? How can we get that? And the answer was given. Here was the answer. Find a way to serve. Find a way to serve the many. So I paraphrase it to read this. Service to many leads to greatness. Service to many leads to greatness. Someone says, well, about the best I can do is take care of myself. That's okay. Self-care, has its own reward, but it's very limited. Somebody says, I can't be worried about other people's problems. I got enough problems of my own. That's okay. Self-defense is okay. Self-preservation is okay, but it has a very limited reward. If you wish to change that into abundance, prosperity, and uniqueness, then here's what you must do. Help solve other people's problems. Help find answers for someone else, not just for yourself, but for someone else. And in that kind of service, you now begin the process of greatness. Someone asked the question, how can I be ruler over many? How could I manage a lot of people? How could I be the leader of a vast movement or enterprise? Here was the answer. Nothing wrong with that wish. We call that self-interest of the highest kind. Wishing to be the manager, the ruler, wishing to be presiding over many people. Here was the answer. Be faithful when the amounts are small. Be faithful when there's just a few. Be disciplined when there's only a few. That starts to entitle you to someday be ruler over many. You say, well, if I had a big organization, I'd really run it with a strong hand and I'd be a fabulous leader. But I've only got a few and I don't know where they are. See, that's not going to work. If you wish to preside over riches, you must start when the amounts are small. Someone says, oh, if I had a fortune, I'd really take good care of it, but I've only got a paycheck, I don't know where it goes. See, not knowing where it goes disqualifies you now for presiding over the fortune. We've all heard that, right? I don't know where it all goes. Do you ever hear that expression? Oh, we'd love to have you run the company. You don't know where it all goes. Somebody says, it just gets away from me. Oh, we'd love to have you run the world, right? It just gets away from you. Somebody says, it's only pennies and it's only a few. Here's where you begin to qualify for abundance and riches and greatness and respect, is to be disciplined when the amounts are small. Someone finds it unique, right, that this many people would come and hear what I've got to say for a whole weekend, but this is not where I started. I started with just a few, but I was so on fire with the few, trying to translate for them in my awkward ways back then. What had happened to me? My life got changed, my income got changed, my health got changed, everything got changed for the better. And now I've lived the most extraordinary life, but it started with my passion for just a few, to translate for just the few. Someone says, well, there's just a few here. You know, does this meeting matter when there's only a few? And the answer is yes. Jot this down. You never know who's in the audience, whether it's a few or 1,000 or whatever. But you got to be faithful when there's just a few. Tell your story when there's just a few. Be just as passionate about ideas that can change someone's life when there's just a few. Now you begin. You're not fully qualified, but you begin the qualification to someday speak to many, someday preside over a vast crowd, someday be the manager or the leader of millions. It starts in those early days to deserve it. Now, jot this down. Also give yourself a chance to change. Some things I held on to that I thought this was it. I'm telling you, after a while I gave it up, found out it wasn't it. So give yourself a chance to change. Refine your philosophy. Refine your direction. If you'll give yourself a chance to do that, here's what will happen down the road a ways. A new door will open that you haven't discovered before. Give yourself a chance to change. Reevaluate. Okay. So let your library be a testimonial of your dedicated interest in accelerated personal development. That you will read whatever you have to read. You will hear whatever you must hear. And you will watch and see whatever you must see in order to make your life refined and worthwhile and achieve all of your purposes. That's what I want this stopping station to be these 3 days. Just to come here and sit for a while and listen and ponder and take notes and work hard and see if you can't absorb, get all that you possibly can here so that it will start to refine your life even before you get on an airplane and fly back to wherever you came, before you get in your car and drive away. What we share with you here, with whatever, all the rest that you've learned, this will be a catalyst to start a process even before you get home and start working for it. Some of you are going to set some goals. We're going to do the workshop tomorrow, designing the next 10 years. Hopefully you'll come up with some new promises, some new objectives, some new ideas. By the time we're finished here, these 2-3 days, I'm telling you, you'll see yourself able to accomplish 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more than you ever thought was possible, which will make this cost of the seminar a small price to pay. And hopefully it'll make the time you spent here a small price to pay compared to making this an investment in your future. What will flow in terms of money and income and return and reward and respect, and dignity and accolades, trophies, all the stuff that can be yours. A marriage that lasts forever, a friendship that nourishes you forever. Things that you'll find that you'll keep and treasure for a lifetime. Hopefully this is one of those weekends. It takes a lot of effort to learn. It takes a lot of effort to grow. It takes a lot of effort to decide and debate. But jot this down. It's all worth the price. Whatever stimulates you to think, whatever stimulates you to wonder, whatever stimulates you to react or even to debate. Even if you hear something, you say, well, that's not right. See, that's still valuable. It means you're awake. It means you're alert. It means you're alive. It means your mind is ready to take on something, whether it's agreeable or not agreeable. Something right, something wrong. Who cares what it is? We've got to listen to a variety of voices. And some are going to come from the left and some are going to come from the right. And some are going to come from mysterious sources. And some will try to entice you with all kinds of stuff. But that's okay. Just so you're alive and alert and awake, ready to process anything that comes your way. Take the best of it and make it beneficial for you. So that tomorrow you walk with a stronger step. Next month you see a clearer vision. And a month from now, the purpose for your life is multiplied by 2, 3, 5. That's what I want to create here. So, now to hurry and get through, because we have so many subjects to cover, let's cover now some other things under personal development. Here's one that's important. As you read and as you listen and as you study and as you grow and as you take notes and as you fill up your journal, then try to work on the ideas to make yourself valuable in the marketplace. Here's something to remember under personal development, some things I had to learn. First, steps to success. First of all, you need good ideas. Just decide right now you're going to accelerate your plan for collecting good ideas. Ideas for your life, ideas for your health, ideas for your marriage, your relationships. Ideas that stimulate. One idea sometimes leads to the next, leads to the next. And the 4 or 5 ideas in the future that really thrust acceleration into your life, you couldn't have gotten unless you went through the first one and the second one and the third. Next, you need good plans. We're going to talk about time management and game plans tomorrow. Need a good health plan. Traveling around the world, you can imagine the kind of health plan I have to have. If I didn't have a superb, extreme, if I didn't have a superb, extreme health plan, you think I could travel all over the world? People look at my calendar and say, impossible. I'm the only one that can do it. Everyone else is too young. Incredible. But I've got to be extremely healthy. I can't let up at all in terms of diet, nutrition, exercise.
All right, everybody, what's going on?
All right, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. You're fine. If you need to say, you can type in the chat or whatever is easier. So, all right, everybody, I want to welcome you guys. It's Tuesday the 12th. Welcome everybody, Xavier. I think this is his first call, so I want to congratulate you, Xavier, for being on here. So what I want to do is, why don't you guys type in some of your highlights from that video, because Jim Rohn absolutely gave you some gold there, and I hope you guys picked it out. So let me see here. Let me do a new share. All right, so make sure you guys stay on mute so that, you're not getting any background noise, okay? So, Jim Rohn, here's some of the things. I'm going to go ahead and bring it out to you guys. We get what we deserve, not what you need. It's reserved for the searchers. If you're not searching for what you're finding, it cannot find you, right? Take your seed in your willingness. Do not come to the marketplace with what you need, but come with what your willingness to do. Move towards me and I'll move towards you. It's from the Bible, right? So if you're moving towards your goals are going to move towards you. If you're not moving, nothing's going to happen. So if you're not taking action, nothing's going to happen. Enlighten self-interest. We must give to receive. You must earn it, right? Giving starts the receiving. Find a way to serve many leads to greatness. Be fearful, be faithful when the amount is small. When few helps you when you get there. So you want to be a millionaire, you want to have millions of dollars or hundreds of units or whatever you're doing. If you're not managing the small disciplines that we have now, you're not going to be able to when you get there, right? So when you're able to be disciplined when the amount is small, you're going to attract more because you can take on more. You never know who's in the audience, right? We always say about this, real estate is all about relationships, okay? Read, watch, listen in order to achieve all your purpose. Assign your life to small investment. It takes a lot of effort, but it's worth it. Decide, make that decision, okay? So what I want to do, let's see. So I wanted to ask, see what you guys, I want you guys to type in the chat. Every single one of you guys that are on here, type in the chat. If you don't, I will take you off mute and ask you, what goals did you have set for this last week since last Tuesday? What goals did you have? And did you hit them? I want every single one of you guys to type in the chat. Okay. What goals are yours? What's your weekly goals? Your daily goals? Okay. What are your goals, right? You know, some of the goals I have is watching at least an hour to 2 hours of trainings every day. Self-development, real estate, sales. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to look at the chat. Wesley says, listen to all her voices. Or I had to go to listen to education and she completed it. Okay, cool. Sam said, to improve my conversation with clients in order to focus on them instead of the money. A lot of framework to create dominant positions. Okay, so that's a goal, right? But I need you guys to break it down more. So I need you guys to be super detailed in what you're saying. So, you know, I'm going to pick on you, Sam, just because you know this is a good one to example. How many clients did you intend to talk to? And when you say clients, what do you mean clients? So we're just going to.
I'm hopping out on the mic. So by clients, I mean potential leads or whatever we meet. So instead of just focusing on what they could provide for me, I've been trying to work on my script so I can go ahead and feel more comfortable when I'm on the phone with people. And I've also been working on my framework, and so I don't make it so I'm so needy. Instead of and them need I need them, they can kind of see that I'd be somebody good to work with. So what I've been doing is, on top of talking to people at work and practicing there, I've been trying to call at least one new person a week, just trying to get this fear of being on the phone out of my system. And I'm slowly seeing my improvement. I think I might up it up to 2 this week.
Okay, awesome. So what is your fear?
My fear is just sounding dumb on the phone.
Why do you think you sound dumb?
Not having enough confidence in what I'm speaking about.
Why do you feel like you don't have enough confidence?
Because I need to go through my classes faster, but I keep going through the same ones to try to understand what I'm speaking about better.
Okay, so you have gone through your classes, obviously. So that, if you guys look up the definition of an expert, it's anybody who has specialized knowledge in a certain field. It's nothing crazy, right? So you guys going through your classes makes you that expert a little bit more than most likely most people you're talking to, right? So, and the only way you're going to get more confidence is by talking to more people, right? You should probably try 1 an hour, right? 1 every 2 hours. The only way you guys are going to get confident and going to get better is by repetition. Okay. So why, you know, how can I say this? But what can you do, Sam? Or why only one person? Let's start with that. Why only one person?
I feel like if I try to talk to too many, I don't know. So I feel like deep down, I feel if I start talking to too many people and I start moving forward too fast, I'm going to get stuck with what I'm doing and not understand exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to lose control of what I'm doing. It's just overall fear.
Okay. So how are you going to know what you need improvement on if you're not in the game and figuring out that experience? How are you going to figure out what you're good at, and how are you going to figure out what you're working on if you're not experiencing it?
That's true. That's why I'm trying, bro. I just need to get more organized with what I'm doing because I just get so sidetracked and then I don't organize well enough that I start losing contact on who I talk to and all that. So what I really need is more of an organization for myself in order to collect my thoughts better.
Well, see, I think I'm just going to pick on you. I think that's an excuse because that wasn't what we just talked about, because you just said, you know, I'm not confident in what I'm talking about. And now you're saying you're not organized. So really, and this is, you know, this is fine. This is good work, right? Really, I think you just need to up whatever you're doing times 10. And this is for everybody. This is for me. I know a lot of what Sam is just brave enough to come on and talk. And I thank you, Sam. A lot of people probably have the same thing. But, and this is why I want to ask you guys these questions, because really, you know, we've been knocking these calls out these last 6 months, and I need you guys to up everything you're doing. Talking to one person a week is not going to get you anywhere in this business.
No, bro. One person a day every week.
One person a day every week. Okay. So five a week. 5 a week. That's what you're saying, right?
Like 5 to 7, bro. Like somewhere around there.
5 to 7. Okay. So, just talking to people, you don't need to be organized, right? Because you could put them in your phones and your contacts, right? So I would just say you have to practice more to get better at it. And whatever you do, you practice martial arts so you can get better at martial arts. You don't sit and say, you know what, I'm going to hit the bag once a week, 5 minutes a day, every day, and I'm going to get better, right?
Right. Very true.
Okay, so I need you guys to put in this repetition. And thank you, Sam, for coming out. I appreciate it.
No worries.
You guys to get the repetition in. Okay. Steph Curry, when he didn't go to basketball school to learn basketball, he played basketball to get better at basketball. If you don't know, Sam, the reason why you haven't, Sam, the more you get into talking to people, you're going to realize that you're not that bad at talking to people. You're just being really hard on yourself. You need to go through the experiences so you can see, okay, look, I did this good. Okay, I could build on this, but I could improve here. Okay, yeah, we can all be a little bit more organized in how we talk to people. That's a given, right? But we just need to get out there and do more. So I know you guys, if you guys don't listen to Grant Cardone, he has the 10X rule. Basically, whatever you guys are doing right now, times that by 10 to get to where you want to go, right? So, for example, if you're talking to 5 people a week, try 50 people a week. You're basically, so 50 people, if you did it 5 times a week, it would take you 10 weeks. If you did 50 people in 1 week, you basically just jump-started your business 10 weeks, okay? So what we're doing is we're letting fear get in the way. The only way to subside fear is by massive action, consistent action, so we can build that confidence. You're going through your classes, you're listening to the Pitch Anything, which is going to really help you. I can see it's helping you already, right? So, just up everything you guys are doing so that you can just get the repetition. And this business is a no business, so get used to it, right? There's nothing wrong with failure. Failure is falling forward. It gets you that much stepper to your goal. You guys need to have a reassociation with failure. Failure, every no is one step closer to that yes. Every failure, every knockdown is going to get you just a little bit better, right? So get a reassociation with failing. I mean, I was so bad on the phone when I first started, really bad, and you just got to keep pushing through it. There's just no other option, right? If you guys really want this bad enough, you'll find a way, right? If you don't, you guys will find excuses. Okay, so let's see. Learning different ways to talk to people, put in more offers with correct numbers, 5 offers a week. Good. Leslie's looking out. Real estate license, congratulations. I know Amanda hit me up with some offers. Xavier, goal to figure out how to fill out my purchase and sales contract and assignment contract. Watch all the videos I got. Still trying to figure this out. Cool. So Xavier, I know you're really stuck on filling out a purchase agreement. And one of the things I tell people is don't spend, I'm going to write this out. Don't spend major time on minor things. So there's only 4 things you guys should be focusing on, right? Going through your classes should be your number 1 priority when you're starting out. But then we talk about the money-making activities, right? You find the properties, you analyze the deal, you make the offer, and you follow up. Now, going through your classes is going to help you do this, okay? Filling out a contract should be the least of your worries right now, Xavier. You should be focusing, going through your classes, talking to as many people as you can about real estate, and just getting out there and putting yourself out there. You find a deal, I will walk you through how to, put a purchase contract together. For some reason, that's one of the biggest things I've seen with people is contracts for some reason. And I would honestly tell you, Xavier, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about figuring out how to figure out a purchase agreement. because it's not going to benefit you right now. Okay. It's not going to benefit you right now where you're at. When you get to that point of having a deal in front of you, you know, then we'll go ahead and we'll fill it out together. I mean, I really did not know how to fill out purchase contracts. It was so funny when I got my first couple of deals. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I just went over it with my mentor at the time. Okay. So I want to talk about putting in action. So Efren, come off the line. I don't know if he's, let me see where he's.
Yo, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Efren. So I want you to go ahead and share your story of the successes that you've had the last couple of days.
So, man, it's been crazy. It's been amazing, honestly. It was just, I've been focusing a lot on actually looking for properties. I've been on Craigslist, Facebook. I just went over the internet, and I came across these couple group properties on Craigslist. This property actually in Vallejo. And so, I called the guy. I texted the guy, see if he was a homeowner, kind of started a little conversation here. He kind of took a long time to respond back to me. So then after he never texted me back, I gave him a call. He didn't answer. So I left him a message, so he called me back today. He calls me back today. He goes, hey, his name is Newland. He goes, hey, this is Newland, man. And I was like, who? And, I was kind of like, whoa, who's this guy? Because, he didn't call me back. So, and then he starts telling me about the property, so I was chatting it up with him. It was actually going good, honestly. I felt very confident. It just felt good. It felt like it was meant to be. And so, it ended up being that he was telling me that he actually has 3 more properties here in Sacramento if I was interested in them as well. And so
real quick, let me back it up a little bit. So you called me, right? And then you're like, look, they want 245. The property's
245.
245.
Yeah.
The property's worth maybe 345.
355 after repair value. That's what the ad says. 355 after repair value. 245 he was asking, and then $45,000 estimated repair value. Okay. So then, I called Jose. And I talked to Jose. Jose ran his numbers, and we came up with a number. So then, we came up with 205. Big difference, I know. But I still told the guy. If I was gonna offer 205, we can close quickly. He asked me. He was like, "Well, how quickly can we close?" I told him it depends on the property. I would have to talk to my business partner. I honestly didn't know any answers to this, so I didn't want to tell him something that I didn't know. So what I did, I told him, let me talk to my business partner and we'll get back at you. How, and then he was like, yeah. Well, I asked him, how quickly do you want to close? He goes like, well, I'm looking to close in 2 weeks. Honestly, I don't think so, because this property has been up for more than 2 weeks. So he's a motivated seller.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure we can work something out and make a deal. And like I said, it's just something that I kind of just been doing. Just kind of been looking up for properties, and and this came up. And so.
Yeah, so so you're doing the MMA, right? The money-making activities. You found the property. We analyzed the deal, right? They wanted 245. Right. They wanted 245, but we have to stick to our numbers, which is 205. Like, that's a big difference. Sometimes we're thinking, oh, you know what? It's too far off. Maybe not. But what we did, we made the offer, right? And then you followed up with them, right? So.
Right.
Basically, guys, making an offer is just a conversation starter. So if he would have never made the offer, the guy is still contemplating the offer, right? He's still like in between, he's thinking about it.
He said he was going to think about it. But he told me, if this deal don't work, I have 3 more in Sacramento that we can possibly make a deal. We can possibly make something work. And so that's kind of, like I said, it just kind of blew my mind. It kind of just, out of nowhere, he was offering me 3 more properties, just like that.
Right. So it's a conversation starter, right? You focus on building a relationship, because we talked about, we said, you know what, you're so far off. we said, just, you know what, Efren, just tell him, hey, I want to be friends. You know, I want to still keep the relationship. I'm at 205. I know that's a big difference, but how do you feel? You know, it's like how you approached it. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
he really respected that. And he says he likes how you work and how you portrayed yourself. And he offered you 3 more. So just taking that action, right, creates the momentum. And it doesn't necessarily mean you'll get the 205 deal, but you might get one of these, right? So just putting in the action, you're going to see results or progress, which is going to ultimately create momentum. You're going to do more action, and you're going to eventually get the results that you're looking for, right?
No, yeah. The way I'm looking at it, the way I'm looking at this right now, is that I have to get one of those 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's my main goal, to get at least one out of those 4.
As long as the
After
number,
I get one of, after
right.
I get one of them, and he sees how I work or how we work, I'm pretty sure he's gonna want to keep working with us.
Right. If the numbers make sense, right? You know, if the numbers make sense, then we
Yeah.
can move on it. But yeah, regardless, even let's just say one of these don't work out, you're still gonna have that relationship with them. You're still gonna follow up with them because you can get it. You know, most of the deals we get are from other investors and just working with other investors and building relationship, right? So just doing that, you know, and we'll be able to knock them out. You know. So good, man. I want to congratulate you. Now just keep doing what you're doing. You know,
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And so that's, you know, another thing I wanted to lead into, figure out and be, you have to be self-aware, right? Our self-awareness, you know, what do we need help in? What can we do? I know, you know, we can all improve in some aspect, right? We can always improve. I know Amanda just hit me up. You know, they made some offers on some properties too, right? So out there making offers, and you guys are going to start seeing things start to fall in place, right? So, you know, and I want you guys to see what's your weekly goals, what's your daily goals, you know, and I want you to think, like, are you going through the motions, or are you really concentrating and focusing and putting the effort to build this business? I mean, do you really want to build this business, or do you kind of want to build a business, right? So there's a difference between going on trainings and really taking in the trainings. There's a difference between, you know, finding properties and then not making the offer compared to making the offer. You know, it doesn't matter. You're going to have ups and downs in this business. That's just entrepreneurship, honestly, in any business, right? You're going to just see, you know, this cycle to get to the top, when usually it's going to be like this, right? So don't be afraid of the moment. You guys all have those qualities in it. I've seen it in every single one of you guys. You guys have what it takes. It just takes the effort, the consistent action, and the curiosity, right? You want to be curious, like, you know, man, you guys have great opportunities to find deals. I have money available and I have buyers, right? So I'm helping you guys cut that out. Just focus on these money-making activities, bringing people in, networking, right? You guys are doing the right things. Just up whatever you're doing, right? Set goals and make sure you guys have a plan to hit those goals. Okay, that's important. So, you know, are you taking in the training? Are you just listening? Or are you just going through the motions, right? Are you checked out? And remember, you know, why is it that you're doing this business? You know, what's the real reason why? If you remind yourself why and what you're doing this.
Freedom.
So why do you want freedom?
Man, you know, you know what? I have a Hugh on Facebook, and that guy inspires me a lot. Honestly, you know, I see how he travels. He's in Hawaii right now. He just came back from Greece. He was in Santa Monica not too long ago. You know, and he went back to New York. He's just traveling. You know, that's the kind of freedom that, you know, man, that we all need. Honestly. You know?
So you want the freedom, but why do you want the freedom?
I don't want to be stuck in a job. I don't want to work for anybody. You know, I want to build my own empire instead of building somebody else's.
Okay.
Does that make?
Yeah, that's one of my biggest things is to be independent, right?
Yep.
And thanks for bringing that up. Actually, I forgot to mention, Hugh is coming to Manteca the 27th through the 29th. So he'll get here late. Let me see. So he's getting here late Wednesday, which is the 27th. So really, he's going to be there. He's going to be here all day for the 28th and about half a day on the 29th. We're not doing an event. We're only doing it for the team. So he's coming out when he gets back from Hawaii. He's going to go straight to the airport. I'm going to pick him up, and he wants to spend a full day with just you guys. Okay, so I want you guys to try to coordinate that because it's a great opportunity for you guys to learn from a 7-figure investor one-on-one. Create that relationship and, make sure he knows. So make sure you guys write that down. Thank you for bringing that up. Hugh, 28 and 29. I think Ephraim, put you on mute. I can hear some background noise. So yeah, I want you guys to go out there and make it happen, man. You have all the opportunities in the world right in front of you. You guys have all the education in front of you. You guys have all the resources. Don't let yourself get in the way of your dreams. Just think about it like this. This is one thing Hugh told me that really stuck with me. If you don't make those calls / offers, you are hurting your family. Think about that. If you don't make those calls, if you don't start putting in those offers and start building your dream, you're hurting your family. You're hurting your ability to provide for them. Because it's not about you, right? We're doing this for other people, not just ourselves. You're taking the ability away to provide for your family. If you don't make those calls, if you don't make those offers, if you don't just, work that little bit harder, take advantage of every opportunity you have, every hour of the day, you're hurting your family. So I want you guys to think about that. Every time it gets a little bit tough, I've been using this. You're hurting your family. You're hurting the ability to provide for your family. Thoughts, questions, comments. I want to make sure, I'm going to start taking minutes to make sure you guys are really owning in what we're talking about. So do you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Are you guys kind of getting it what I'm trying to get out here?
We definitely feel it. Definitely.
So if you're not doing the action, you're hurting yourself and your family. Okay, so think about that. This is, I have this on my whiteboard. It's been very interesting. It's a reassociation, right? And I don't know why my mouse is not working right now. So I cannot see your chat. Sorry. Any thoughts, questions, or comments? Now tomorrow we are having the team only training at Mountain Mike's. It's at 7 p.m. Try to get there a little bit earlier because I have to leave exactly at 9 p.m. To the airport. So try to get there exactly. Everybody bring some money to pitch in on pizza for these team trainings. We'll all pitch in and get pizza and whatever else you guys want. So Mountain Mike's tomorrow, Manteca. Goals, hitting your goals, training. Are you really putting in the effort, or are you guys going through the motions? Okay, let me see if my mouse. All right, so it is 8:45. I am going to go ahead and take a step back. Leslie, it is all yours.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jose. That was an awesome beginning of our meeting, and now we are going to go into our classes education and finish up credit management with Eric Counts, who is amazing, entertaining. So Amanda is going to finish up with credit management. Are you ready, Amanda?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, girl, it's all yours.
All right, guys. So it's the second half of credit management today. So we left off on class 11. So for class 11, well, the little segment 11, it says how credit companies can affect your score. And this actually personally happened to me. So I had a credit card that I kept at the same balance for a while. I would pay it and then use it, and it stayed at the same balance. So the lender actually ended up saying, well, if this is all you're going to use, we're not going to give you a higher limit. So they cut my limit to a lower limit, and it actually made my utilization higher on my credit score, as well as it slashed my score to be lower. It kind of sucked, but that did happen. So it was kind of cool that he touched bases on that. So if you do have a credit card, it's best that you don't keep it at like the same limit. Use it and have like variations of different limits, so that way they don't slash your availability for it. And then the next one is credit scoring for FICO. So for FICO, guys, so it's just a numerical representation of the likelihood that you will be 90 days late. And can anybody tell me how far back in the chat, they can go in the chat, how far back the FICO checks for those credit histories? He mentioned like a certain time of years. Yes, perfect. 2 years. That's great. Okay. So then we're just going to move on to how credit reporting works. So the most common credit reporting bureaus is FICO 08 and FICO 09, which they're pretty similar. They have 5 main factors and a few different factors. Now, just to kind of touch bases on the 5 main factors, because we'll get into those in just a minute. One of them is going to be your payment histories, which is the first thing they look at. Then there's your utilization record. Then there's your age of your file, your mix of credit, and as well your inquiries. Now, before we get fully into those, I want to talk about one more thing he touched on this class here, and it was called trended payment data. So it began back in 2016, and this is a way that they would have cards at really, really high balances over the time in your life. And then when you're ready to buy something, they would pay it off with some sort of money. I don't know how they would pay it off, but they would pay it off so that their credit scores would shoot way up, so they can then again put all the balances back onto the cards. But they actually stopped letting people do that. I asked the question to you guys too early. I found it here later, or wrote it twice. I have zero idea on that. But they actually stopped letting people do that. So back in 2016, they kind of took a look on that and stopped letting that go into your score. Just wanted to let you guys know that. So now we're going to go into managing your ratios for your credit improvement. So I have a question for you guys. It's going to be, why do we want to utilize our credit cards? So he gave a few different reasons on why we should use those. Go ahead and type it in the chat. Anybody know why we should use those cards? No? Okay, so if we don't use the cards that we have, they can close our accounts. That's making our, there we go. Mark says that one, they'll close the accounts, perfect. And then credit costs money. So basically, if they're not making money off you, they're gonna close the account. So basically that's the answer. So now for the usage, what is the magic sweet spot that he mentioned percentage-wise for that usage? Can anybody tell me that? So he actually said between 5 to 10%. It was on a slide. I could screenshot it and send it to you guys later. So one thing that really stood out to me about the utilization is when Eric stated that when it comes to doing like an accelerated mortgage, so like when we do the Velocity Banking, when we go get our line of credit, he said it's kind of better to do it in a HELOC, which, just in case you guys don't know what a HELOC is, it's a home equity line of credit, because it's not revolving. I guess a revolving account, he was saying it really hurts your utilization to put something way up and then you pay it down and then you just put it right back up again. he said a line of credit doesn't actually check into our utilization when it comes to our a HELOC. Sorry, a HELOC doesn't actually look into our utilization records on the credit scores, where the lines of credit, even a secured line of credit, would check that. Okay, guys. Sorry, this is like a short class. We're like almost done already. So, how the age of your file impacts your credit profile. So, guys, what percentage of the credit score is age? I'm sorry. What percentage of a credit score is the age for a good age for the file that you guys have? If nobody knows, he wrote down, he said it was about 15%. So 15% of your actual credit file is made up of the age of all your credit lines. And then he mentioned that your oldest accounts are actually your best accounts. As long as you're keeping them in good standard and you're maintaining them active, they won't close out your accounts, but it shows that you have them, they're old, and that you're actually maintaining them. It gives you a good credit history. Now, one thing that he mentioned next about the credit is you need to have a good mix of credit. This makes up about 10% of the score. And some things that he mentioned were a good mix of credit. What it kind of looks like an idea of it, is having like a mortgage, a couple auto loans, 3 to 5 credit cards, and student loans. Now, that doesn't mean that you guys can only have those things. You can have other things that you do need, but you just have to make sure that you keep those, like I said, in good standards, so that way your credit looks good, and make sure your utilization isn't too high, because that really does affect your guys' credit. So the next one we go on to is why inquiries matter and how they affect your score. So inquiries, they make up a total 10%, of your total score. Flipping the page, hold on. So a good question I have here for you is, what about inquiries affects your guys' score? What is it about them that actually affects it? Is it what kind? Can anyone type in the chat for me? There you go, Leslie, too many. That volume of inquiries. So if you do a lot of inquiries over time, he's mentioned like 10 to 13, you're not going to get approved for a credit card. He's like, just no ifs, ands, or buts. And then it's going to hurt your score the more and more you do it. If you're only doing a few here and there, it's not really going to hurt your score too much at all. He was saying that some people mentioned that, 3 points for every time you have an inquiry. That's not true. There's no set point system for it at all. It's literally just the volume of your inquiries. Okay, so now we're just going to move on to building a good credit report. If you already have a good credit report, just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. You're a great person. Great personal life. If you're like me and you have bad credit or your new credit, we're going to talk here. So for bad credit, you can go to someone that's like a credit repairer, but make sure you're going to a really good person. So Eric mentioned that out there in the world of these great people in this life, there's a lot of people that will give you like a direct fee. So if you say, well, how much will it cost to repair my credit? And they're like 500, 600. Don't trust that, because they don't know what your credit looks like. They don't know how long it's going to take. So if they give you a time frame too, then again, they don't know how long it's going to take. So make sure you do your research and they're actually really good people. So that way you can get your credit repaired in the right way. Now, if you have new credit, so you're basically at a zero, there's, of course, things like college credit cards you can get at your local bank. But he mentioned a few things like a CD loan. So it's short term. It's fully secured. You can get anybody who wants to chip in or anything like that for it. And then it all goes straight back into the CD. And they loan it to pretty much anybody because it's your own money that's put into it at first. So it doesn't really matter your credit score. It's like a secured CD. Now there's another way. It's called authorized users. So for an authorized user on a credit card that you can have, you just have to make sure to actually build credit for yourself, that they have a direct tie to you, meaning like they're a family member, they live in your house, something like of that nature. They have to have a direct tie to you. Now, other than that, the last 2 classes he had, I think it was 22 and 23, they were just open for questions. So that's really all I have for you guys. It was a short little class, only 23 things. Sorry, it wasn't too much, but I'm done already.
Awesome. That's so good. Thank you. We all learned something. And like I said, Eric's really entertaining, so he makes learning how to keep your credit in good standing to be successful for your needs as we go into real estate investing. And he is also a good resource to help you with your credit repair. You can send them, I think it's creditnerds.com.
Yeah, creditnerds.com.
Yeah, and he's a good one to really use to help get your credit. We've used him and his resources, and it felt really good about trusting what he has to offer. So, if any questions, you can just hit us up, and we'll get you to him if you need further information. Thanks, Amanda.
No problemo.
Okay, so now next, I thought that we would go into real estate red flags, especially since we're really trying to get into some properties. It is 43 classes. However, I thought maybe we'll take an extra week if that's okay with you, Jose, and just do 14 at a time.
No.
Why?
Just kidding. I'm just
Oh.
kidding.
So I just need to see if anybody that hasn't had the opportunity to do a class would want to do Chris Albin's real estate red flags class, like Amanda did. If you could just put it in the chat if you're interested. Otherwise, Jose will assign.
Ooh, I don't mind that.
Anybody? Okay. Well, we can just
So I am going to pick somebody then. Awesome. So you did it. Who did it before? Sam, when's the last time you did one?
I was the first one. I think it's
Oh.
Xavier's turn.
Xavier is just getting his feet wet. We're going to give Xavier the next one. Mark hasn't.
Can you guys
So,
hear me?
this is what we're going to do. Mark and Sam, you guys pick a number between 1 and 10. Go.
3.
Hey, can you guys hear me, or do I have to turn the mic on?
Yeah, we can hear you, Xavier. You're going to get 10. You're going to get after the next person who does this. So we each take turns facilitating the class, which basically you watch the class and then you just talk about what you learned with the group, okay? So I picked the number 4. So Sam, congratulations. After Sam does real estate red flags, you're going to be assigned to the next class, Xavier, okay? So we just go through the classes. You're not teaching the classes. We're just talking about what we learned, okay? So this week this is your guys' homework. Red flags, classes 1 through 17.
no 14 because we're going to go 3 weeks because there's 43 classes.
Well, we can do 17, and then you could do 10 the last week.
Okay.
Okay, so 1 through 17, real estate red flags. Tomorrow we have Mountain Mics, and I apologize for my computer. It's been acting weird. That's why all these screens are changing. Mountain Mics. Okay. And then we have June 23rd for Jeff Armstrong and SAC. And June 28th, 29th with Hugh one-on-one. Okay? So,
Jose,
what's that?
hey, the real estate red flags, where do we study that at? Is that like on our videos, or is that something we
Yes,
talk
it's the
about?
class. It's in the classes. So you go into your classes, you'll see real estate red flags, and you're going to watch that segments 1 through 17. If you have any questions, you just type in the group chat, or you do it on the Facebook. The reason why we created that is because I have so many things going on, Xavier. We want the team to help each other, and not everybody to be dependent on one person. Okay. So if you have questions like that, go ahead and refer to the chat. If you have questions about a property or you're making an offer, then you guys go ahead and call me, just so we can make sure we're doing it efficiently. Okay. That's the great thing about having this team. We can all help each other. I know you're just getting plugged into the system. It's going to take a few weeks. No problem. We understand. But that's what we got coming up here. Real estate red flags. It's Chris Albin. I believe it's the 4th video. You'll see it says real estate red flags right underneath it. So I want to take the next 5 minutes, any questions, any burning questions you have. It can be about anything. There's no stupid questions. Don't feel hesitant to ask me. I want you guys to, get help. That's what the purpose of this is, to get help, not for me to talk. Okay. The purpose is this for us to get better, not for me to just talk and look at a screen. Okay. I want to make it about, I want you guys to get all that you're getting out of this time. So do you guys have any questions at all about anything?
The guy, you want me to
Huh?
do I text that in or talk to you?
Yeah. What do you got?
Okay, I got some bandit signs. Should I go out there and put them out there, or just wait a little bit, before I put them out?
Why would you wait?
That's why I was asking. Should I wait or just put them out? I think I should put them out.
Yeah. Well, nobody's going to see them in your house, right? You got to go put them out there, my man.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to get some nails or find the right nails to use. I need that.
We use staplers. I use staplers. Yeah, you can go to, I bought one, but you can go to Home Depot and get a signed stapler and you just knock them in, boom, boom. You're in it, you're out. Nails take a little bit longer,
Yeah.
And it's just more hassle. Staple gun is where it's at.
All right, I got to go to Home Depot.
How many did you get?
I only got like 60 of them. It was my
Okay,
first-
so just do, just set a small attainable goal, right? We don't eat an elephant in one bite. So if you have 60, do 20 a week for the next 3 weeks.
All right.
Right. So just pick a date and a time. Thursdays and Sundays is usually when I do it. Because Thursdays is right before the weekend. Sundays right before the week. I do them at night. Do not put them in Modesto. If you do, what number do you have on them?
I got a Google number. It's a Google
Okay,
number.
cool. You're fine then. Yeah. So go out there, you do that, go put up 20 a week, figure out a day and a time. So say Thursday at 8:00, no matter what, you have to go out there and put 20 signs. You have to make non-negotiable time that no matter what, you have to do that. So set a date and a time this week, non-negotiable. Just like your classes should be non-negotiable. Certain times you set it out. It's constant actions a little bit every day, right? Okay. So you guys have any other questions? All righty. Well, I am going to wrap this thing up. I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. I will see you tomorrow. Mountain Mike's Pizza. The address is in the chat or in the group me app. All right, guys.
All right. Thanks, Jose.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.